Okay, great farmers, I welcome you back to my channel. I am Land Cruiser. We're going to be treating the key importance of what? Weeding. Why do we weed? Of course, it's a common practice. We all learned weeding in school. But the question is, do we really know the role weeding plays in your orchard, farm? Or do we just weed because we don't like weed? So we're going to be touching those key areas why we should weed. We shall be looking at the first point, which is what? Pest control. Weeding helps to control what? Pest. Of course, you all know the role the pests play in your farm. They actually eat up your crops, infest your crops with diseases. So you don't want this to actually be the order of the day in your farm. Of course, when they eat up your crop, that limits your yield, that also limits your income. So you don't want that to befall your farm. Weeding helps do what? To control pests. And trust me, let's take for example, when you don't weed, what happens? The pests eat up your crops, they infest diseases into your crops, into your farm, and in that case, you want to do what? To eliminate them. What do? You go for pesticides. Now you want to solve a problem by creating another problem. The pesticide in which you are investing in will not do what? Will not do good to your crops. Imagine the chemical compounds you are spraying on your crops in your farm. Those ones are very much harmful. In fact, they are more harmful than the pest that you are trying to eliminate. So for you to do what? For you to control this at the early stage, weed very early, take weeding very, very important. It will help you in long run. The good aspect of weeding is that it gives you good yield. So that's why we are pointing out this. So weeding does what? Control pests from early stage, so you don't have to spend more money. It curtails your expenditures on pesticides, and it also does what? It helps your crops to grow well and also give you good money, because once you sell them as good crops, they also give you good money. Buyers will not do what? Entertain that product or that produce. Let us look at the second point, which is nutrient retention. Of course, availability of nutrient is very important. Once the weed take over your farm, one thing is very significant. They do what? They begin to extract all the available nutrients in the soil. And trust me, your plants, they need those nutrients to do what? To thrive. So that competition is not healthy for your plants. Once your plants begin to retard in growth, this is as a result of excessive weeds, too much weeds and grasses. They are suffocating those plants. Your plants will not thrive when the weeds are so much enclosed and then clustering everywhere. So you need to wait for them to see enough nutrients for the plants to utilize and grow and give you a good yield. Weeding is very important. We've made mention of what? We've made mention of pest control, and nutrient availability in absence of weeds is also very important. If you pay attention to weeding in these aspects, knowing fully well that they save you money, they give you good yield. All the points which we are mentioning, they are buttressing on saving you money and giving you good yield. And as a farmer, if your crops produce good yield, you make more money, and that's the most important thing. That's the reason why you are farming in the first place. Of course, you want to make profit. Of course, you want to give the best yield. You want to produce quality produce. You want to farm to give you what? Quality produce. So nutrient retention is very important, and that is one of the reasons why you must weed. Okay, let us look at the third point, why we must weed. The third point is that weeding enables good airflow and sunlight penetration. Of course, you see the sun is already hitting on me at the moment, so I might not want the sun to actually get to me, maybe burn my skin. But you see this plant, they need it. They need enough sunlight, much as they need enough water, because the sun helps to do what? Helps them to manufacture their own food through photosynthesis. Enough sunlight penetration is very important. Once the weeds are swamping around your plants, preventing them from getting enough airflow, preventing them from sunlight penetration, it limits a lot from them. They cannot manufacture their food. That is why they will give you poor yield. because they are not able to do what? To produce their food. They're not able to do what? To, express, to give you their best. When you are in a comfortable environment, you can actually do what? Do your best. That is what is happening to them. And they are doing pretty well. They are shooting their leaves pretty well. Their root system is enjoying the whole process because there are enough food and nutrient for them to do what? To catch up with. So wooding is very important because they help these guys to do what? To manufacture their food, to give you good yield, and also have conducive environment for them to thrive. So sunlight penetration and good airflow is enough reason why you must do what? You must wait. Let us look at the fourth point. Of course, it's also an additional point. What are we looking at? Robust yield. Weeding gives your plantation robust yield. Weeding ensures pest control, nutrient retention, sunlight penetration, and a good airflow. So once these three things are met, number 4 is inevitable. So robust yield is what you get once you prioritize weeding. Weeding is one of the commonest thing one can do in his or her farm, but that's the most important of all farming practices. So if you ensure good care of your farm by weeding, not just setting up your farm, because there are a good number of people, they've set up their farm, they've gone to sleep. They want the plantain or the banana to perform magic, and then at the end of the day they have good yield. These are some of the people that might not understand, but they complain about their yield. Oh, I saw your plantain is very big, but mine didn't give me such yield. What happened? And by the time you begin to ask questions, you find out that they don't carry out good care, good farm care to actually ensure robust yield. It's very important to take good care of your farm to actually see the result happening before your very eyes. We shall be ending this topic today on weeding. Of course, we've talked about how we set up our farm, our spacing method. In the next topic, we shall be looking at why we choose a particular spacing method. What are the good reasons? What are the benefits of choosing spacing method? We shall be touching them one after the other in this class. So thank you very much. See you in the next episode.